before, and you're muted, so.
Yeah, hi Joy. I just happened to see this on the calendar. I'm so glad. I have not used it before. I've only used, I think, I can't even think of the program because I've only used it once or twice. I tried something with like a lantern fly, which is a big deal where we are, maybe where you are too, where anyway, I tried to animate a lantern fly. That's as far as I am. So I am way new here, but I'm excited.
And Jay, I'm glad you're here. Jay, where are you at with your video making? Jay Lane? Maybe she's lurking.
They may not be in a place where they can chat.
I do lurk at lots of meetings. And then Claire, I just wanted to know where you were with your video making. Probably have been using something. I think I've seen you make some video before.
Yep. Maybe Claire can't. No.
So Vicki, I know you've been using VO2, which I'm totally jealous about. Have you put any video together with that? And what did you use?
I started the very slow process of putting together a video for a song that I created on Suno at the time, I think it was. And I had images that I wanted to use. So I can't upload an image to VO2 and animate it. Like it has to be done like from the start kind of thing. And I wanted like a specific look and feel. So I was using oh gosh, it's been so long since I touched it that I can't even remember. Something that was free, probably Runway, and just like creating as many as I could in one day's allowance worth of prompts. Okay. So this is even slower than usual. And so like every day, not even every day, whenever I think about it, I just go in and make a few videos and then plop them into my iMovie. I do use iMovie.
Okay, great.
To put things together, but that's about it.
So we have Linda here. Linda, how are you? Glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to know where you are as far as your video making journey. Like, what have you used? Have you used DaVinci Resolve or anything?
That might be one of them that I've never used. I edit my videos using CapCut or Canva, and I'm waiting for a moment to be able to learn. Oh, what's that fancy one? I've actually came with my computer. It's it'll come to me. I can't remember the name of it. And then I've used Runway, Kling, Luma, Clay.
Well, I just meant specifically like video editing.
Video editing is for me just, I originally started doing some of it with Runway, and now it's mostly CapCut and Canva.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So great. Everybody's kind of new to DaVinci Resolve, including myself.
I've never even heard of it before, so I was thrilled.
Yeah, I was thrilled to hear about it because it's free. I do want to caution you guys, though, that there are some things that you cannot do with the free version. I was told by someone, I can't remember, that, try to, use it. It's free. Why not? Check it out. See if you liked it. I liked it immediately. I used Adobe Premiere, and Premiere I don't like Adobe products, so sorry if someone works for them, but I just didn't feel comfortable for me. I've never liked their user interfaces. When I got to DaVinci Resolve, I just felt like I felt comfortable with it and could figure things out. But someone said that you'll know when you need the paid version. So I probably needed the paid version probably 2 weeks after I started using it. As I learned, I wanted to do things, I wasn't able to do stuff. So I might do some things today that you can't do in the free version. But there are workarounds with that. If you really want to stay dedicated to DaVinci, you could pop it in to iMovie like Vicky has, and do what you need to do and then put that video back into DaVinci. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but I think there's always ways you can get away around things. But I love DaVinci Resolve. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So I actually wanted to open up while you were here, but Vicky and I should say myself, I wasn't quite sure how to share DaVinci. We did figure it out. And frankly, I don't want to close it right now because we have it up and working. And I'm sorry it's so small. I made my little cursor thing bigger here, but it doesn't seem to help, unfortunately. So anyway, but I don't know if you can see in the bottom left corner here, this is where you're going to add your video clips. You just merely click on it, and that's where your downloads are going to be, whatever download folder that you use. If you don't see anything, you can right-click this top line. Right-clicking it and refreshing, that's going to refresh everything that's in your download folder that you might want to use. So you can add, I don't know how that clip got in there, but anyway, you can add clips one by one just by dragging them in. Can you guys see everything okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. You can drag them in one by one. I believe once you put them in here, it's not going to add them twice, which is really nice because when you have a lot of clips you've made in advance, you don't remember what you've put in, what you haven't. You can also hit your shift button like we often do with our computers, and you can just drag them all in at once. So we've got a lot of clips to play with right now. And I made these really crazy clips just like 10 minutes ago, so I have no idea what they are. I didn't want to use something that I was really working on because, you know, I just moving things around. I didn't want to mess up something I'd spent time on. So this is our video clips. They're all in there. We're still in the media area where we add things. I'm going to also add some audio that I stuck in here. Again, you're just dragging it over. And now you see the audio is in. So this middle button here, a lot of people call it like a hamburger. This is where you're going to live a lot, right in this section here. This is where most people spend most of their time with DaVinci Resolve. This is actually your timeline. You can make it bigger or smaller. This is the area where you're actually going to see your video. I'm just going to drag something in that looks like possibly a establishing shot. So this is our first clip in the timeline. I can play it now. Here's the play button right here. Say I think it's too fast. If I want to right click this clip here, I can change the clip speed and slow it down. Right now it's at 100%, can type in 90% and hit change. So this is going to slow it down. When you slow something down, you want to remember to drag your clip because there's going to be more to it now. It's longer. So you can see it's still, in my eyes, I think that's a little fast for an establishing shot, but we haven't added any audio yet. That might be perfectly fine for the audio that we have. So the same thing, you're just dragging in. I'm going to drag in some audio now. Just going to pull it to the left at the starting point. I'm not sure if the sound's going to come through.
It is kind of, it's a little choppy, but it's there.
Okay. So I just wanted to show you how to add audio. I don't think we should live with the audio on while we're doing this. So what I'm going to do, right next to the audio line, you'll see an M button. You can actually mute it. And I do that. I use it quite often because I try different sounds. You might be stacking sounds on top of each other, and you might be adjusting things. So it's really nice to know where that mute button is so you can mute it. So you can also, like I did, add clips one by one, or you can use the shift button as people do and drag them all in. I accidentally let go of it in the wrong spot. So what I'm going to do is just close this up a little bit. This minus plus sign here is going to drag your timeline to make it a little bit smaller. I wanted to see all of the clips. So I'm just going to click on the last clip and then first one here, and I'm just going to drag them all over. So now we have them all in a line. You can pull it down and you can see that they're all just going to play. These are really crazy, so sorry about that. But anyway, that's, you know, basically how to get things in there quickly. But, you know, we have a lot of editing to do with clips. We can't just throw them in on, you know, unfortunately, where there's a lot of work to do. So basically, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so we can see the clips easier. And I'm going to drag this down. There is a lot of moving around with video editing. But what I'm going to do here is just start editing something. This looks a little crazy to me, so I'm going to try to slow this down like I did the other one. We're going to, I don't know, take it to like 75 to slow this down, just so we can see what the heck's going on here, which looks a little cray-cray. There is some weird stuff going on. I really don't like this part here. Just things are falling down. So what I'd like to do is actually cut this section. I don't want that in my video. So what I'm going to do, there's a little razor blade right here. You have to have your clip selected in order to cut. So now I've clicked on the razor blade. I'm going to click right here. Then I go back to my pointer, click on the part I don't want, and then go to cut. And that's going to get rid of it. And now we have this big hole. So that's kind of a pain in the butt to have to make this small again, drag them all over. So what's nice about this is you can just click on that hole, right click, and then ripple delete. It's going to bring them all back over. So that's a nice feature. Now, say that we wanted to do some, let me think, some color grading on this. This middle button here with the colorful, I don't know what you would call it, peacock, I'll call it. This colorful peacock is where you would do your color grading to change your lift, gamma, gain, offset. Basically, just turning this wheel is going to lighten up here or darken it. The same with the gamma. The gamma and the gain is mostly for lightening and darkening, I believe. The offset one actually is going to do the whole thing, give you a complete different color. And the nice thing about it, because you can really mess your stuff up, is if you go to this little arrow with a circle, click on it, it's going to put it exactly right where you started. So if you don't like what you did, you can put everything back to where it was. I do not know a lot about color grading. You know, it's an art in itself. There's people that just specifically color grade for their career. So that is a whole other ball game that I think I'm not ready to dive into, but I would like to one day. So the nice thing about this particular feature is that if you click on this percent here, you can go to, I'm sorry, it's not that one. If you click on 1, 2, 3 over, you can go to a split screen. Let me see. I don't know if you guys can see that. you can see, okay, so I hit neighbor clips. You can kind of see the colors of all of the clips together, to work on your clips, to make them be more consistent. I know Todd made a video, and it was probably one of his first videos that I saw of his, and his had really nice, consistent coloring. And when making short films, it really is a good goal to try to have consistency with a short film. Now, if you're making a feature size film, 2.5 hours, of course, that's acceptable to have different coloring. But most all of the films that you make should have a consistent color theme, because it's so short, it breaks it up too much, and it actually breaks the concentration for the audience to be able to experience your art in a smooth way. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that in the specific professional terms, but it's kind of, that's why you don't want it to have different coloring. So I wanted to go over down the line here. I skipped the Fusion page here. I believe that's the Fusion one. Yes. The Fusion page is also for professionals that I haven't got into quite yet. So we're going to skip that and go over to the, I forget what they call it, but it's the music signal. This is where you can.
It says
Is
fail.
it?
Mine,
Okay,
yeah.
good. Thanks. For some reason, when I'm hovering over it, I'm not seeing it. It might be below what it's, the window that I'm sharing. But anyway, this is the best place to manipulate your audio for cutting. Audio is so, how should I say it? Tedious. You make like just a fraction of a second of an error, and you've got a terrible thing that's going to ruin your movie. So this is going to help you tremendously. Basically, you can't really see my audio very well, so I'm going to go up to this little toggle and open that up so I can see what the heck's going on. And then right next to it is the other one that's going to elongate it. And you can take it further too to make really fine cuts in your audio. But again, this is very similar to cutting in your video making. You would just line up what, you know, where you don't like. This one has a scissors icon. You basically click the scissors, and then you're going to go right where you want to cut it. Now, this is a song, so I'm not going to delete anything. But if you're doing dialogue, you could cut in 2 spots, right click it, and then hit the cut button again, and it would cut that audio out. Down the line here, which is a rocket, deliver, I guess it is called. This is where you're going to render your film. Basically, you're going to choose how you're going to export it when your film is done. I usually have mine set up custom made up over here of ones that I've already made. I'll just pick one here because it has settings that I like. You can get lost in this very easily, but basically it just, you're plugging in a file name, where you want to put it. I usually put it on my desktop or downloads, so you can pick where you want to put it. You can render a single clip. That means all of the clips become one, or individual clips. You can use down here, the very, very bottom, which is a really nice feature, have it directly upload to your YouTube. And I believe that you can set that up. It's been a while since I've done it. I believe that's something you can set up in one of the spots here. I can find out in a minute if I look. That might be something could just Google, ChatGPT, because I did it probably 8 months ago. I just don't remember, but I'm signed up to have mine directly upload to YouTube. You can make them private so you can view them before they go public on YouTube, which I really love. I would like to go over the subtitles with you. So if you want to do so, oh, I probably should show you how to do subtitles. I'll go back to that. So if you have your subtitles set up and ready to go with your film, and you'd like them to be burned in, you select the burned in version so that they are with the clips and not separate. Or you can have a separate file sent, so it comes in 2 pieces. Now these other things are very advanced, and to be honest, if I'm doing a new movie, I actually ask ChatGPT pretty much every question, depending what my movie is about, on which would be best for my movie, because my movies have a different feel that I'm looking for. And I did learn the hard way that when you're lip syncing, your rate control should always be a constant bit rate. If it's variable, your bit rate is going to be or your syncing is going to be out of sync, and it's going to look like one of those terrible movies where you're having people talk and nothing's coming out or synced. So I actually check every movie I make, because I mean, I spend sometimes, I don't know, I can spend months on one film. I've spent 29 hours on one film I made in 2 days, and I'm not going to go by memory to render my film. I want it to be done correctly. So I check with ChatGPT pretty much every film, or I use a preset that I have used. You can set up presets right over here at the top under, or at these 3 dotted lines. You can save as new preset. I don't want to save what I just did, but once you have it figured out, you don't have to figure it out every time unless you're doing a different movie. You know, maybe you don't have lip syncing. And the reason that you might not want to have the constant bit rate, say, well, Joy, why wouldn't you just do a constant bit rate every time? A constant bit rate actually lowers the quality of the movie. So you have to pick your sweet spot, what's most important to you. Of course, if you have lip syncing, you want it to be a constant bit rate, because if it's out of sync, then that just ruins the whole movie. But if there's no lip syncing, then don't do a constant bit rate. So basically, after you have all of your settings set up and you're ready to go, you merely just add it to the render queue, which is right below here. This is going to get it into, well, okay, you got to select where you're going to put it. Always put desktop and save. That's not rendering it yet. That's just putting it over here at the top right, the render queue. And basically it is ready to go. If you forgot about something, you're like, oh no, I forgot to do this, you can close it out and start over and say, oh no, I want it to make it public, and then start again. It's good to know, because at the last minute, I always remember something I have to do. And then basically you're hitting render off. That's going to send it to my desktop and YouTube. I'm not going to hit that button actually. But that's basically how you get your movie. Also, you know, I have that muted right there. If I was serious about wanting to render this, that would not render with audio. I would have to go back and unmute this over to our page, that this hamburger that we usually do all of our editing in. We'd have to unmute that, go back and redo, add the render, and render it that way. Otherwise, there'd be no audio. Basically, let's go back here, though. I'd like to show you a trick about doing subtitles, because it saves a lot of time. You can do them by hand, but who wants to do that? No one. So basically, for subtitles, you're going to go to timeline, this top left. On the timeline, there should be create subtitles from audio. This unfortunately isn't going to do anything because there's no words in this. I don't think it could do anything. Well, let me just drag something in really quick. So I have
So
to
I
go back.
guess-
Go ahead.
I just hit subtitle on mine and it says you've reached a limitation with DaVinci Resolve. So maybe that's a paid feature for subtitles.
Huh. You had reached the limitation. I guess so.
Yeah.
But I'll
Unless
show you really.
complete set of features. Yeah, you got to pay.
Oh, that's sad. So, I mean, I'd like to talk to you about that, though. I believe it's $300 for the paid version. I'm not positive.
Yep.
I gobbled it up quick because I think with AI, these video editors, the other video editors could be going up. More people are going to be wanting to use them. I don't know. I'm just glad I got it. I don't have any monthly fee. And yes, it's expensive, but it's a one-shot deal and it's done for life. I get all of the updates and I don't know. Anyway, so did someone want to say something?
Yeah, real quick. President's Weekend that I missed. And it was like one time President's Weekend special, 175. And when I clicked it, it was like the Wednesday after that. When I clicked it to open it, it was back to the 299.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna wait
sad.
for one of those. I think.
Yeah, if they did it, they're going to do it again. But anyway, I'm bringing this audio in. I mean, the song in. It is audio. That has words. I'm going to go ahead and mute that other track. And this is one thing also I forgot to tell you. Sorry, it's a little unorganized. This is my first time ever teaching DaVinci Resolve, so you have to cut me some slack. But anyway, so anytime you're adding dialogue, music, whatever, you want to right-click your audio and hit normalize audio level. That's going to bring it up to what the volume should approximately be. Also, you want to right-click and always check clip attributes. Go over to audio, and you want to make sure it's in stereo because a lot of the dialogue you do, I believe most all of it, yeah, I think all of the audio I have done in 11 labs has been mono. And it sounds obviously terrible in mono. So you want to make sure everything you're uploading is in stereo. So now that I did that, I should be able to do subtitles. So basically, we're going to go back to the timeline, create subtitles with audio, and then create. And it's just going to take a moment, hopefully, to do that. By hand would take a very, very, very long time. Just correcting them takes a very, very long time. So now we have a subtitle track. These are all of our subtitles here. And again, you can make them by hand if you wanted, but no one wants to do that. Now, I suspect that some of them are wrong. So any time you do add subtitles, if you get the paid version, definitely check them. So you can click on any subtitle that you have and basically just open it up to be corrected over here. You can basically just type in what you need to change, and it'll go ahead and change it. Also, you see that this is really high on your clip. We wouldn't want that. So you can go to the right, hit track, and I believe that which one? This one can lower it. So it's in the more appropriate spot. So anyway, I'm not going to spend too much on that because most of you might not have the paid version yet. As Vicky pointed out, you have to pay to get that. So there's a lot more to do though. Basically, we're going to look at our special effects. Hopefully you can use that. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to find out. So let me make this a little bit bigger. Over here, top left, you see effects button. You have all of these wonderful DaVinci Resolve effects that come with it. Hopefully yours did too. Frankly, I can't remember what mine came with. But basically you can just hover over them and they're going to show you what they do. These are blurs, color compressor, contrast pop, film damage. It's not going to really show up too much on this one because it's dark. Film grain, camera shake. I use camera shake a lot. Just for I don't know, I just feel like it brings the audience in more for certain things. A lens flare here. You can see, I'm not sure if you can see these, to be honest. This is a light rays, lens reflections, depth map. There's so many cool things you can do. I'm not sure. JPEG damage. I don't even know who would want that. Video collage, I guess you can add. Some of these I've never even used. Basically, though, if you have something that you want to change, you can just go to the effects and look over here what you can add to change your videos. So some videos need a transition. Like this one probably would be nice with a transition because they're so dissimilar. These are jarring, these two clips here. So in order to be able to add a transition with a video, you need a little video. I believe it's like 1 second on either side. And what I've done is I've just pulled the clips and I'm just dragging them. So about 1 second or so, I'm not going to measure it, but dragging them so that there's on either side, there's video that's not exposed, so we can add a transition. And basically what you want to do is go to the video transition button right here, and then you can hover over how it's going to look. Maybe make this a little bit bigger so you can see. This is an additive transition, which probably would be the best one to use because those two clips are so dissimilar in color. So I would probably use this one. You can use a blur effect, which might be useful too. This is cross dissolve. That one might work. Here's a smooth cut. That one's when you don't really want people to notice your transition too much. Non-additive, probably the same effect. And dip to color, where it's actually going black and then comes back up. But then there's so many different more that you can use. And just remember, you have to have video on each side of the clip for it to work. Or you're not going to be able to add these cool video transitions. But then you have the iris where it's exposing the next clip, crossbar, diamonds. You can just go nuts with these, slide. I don't try to use these too much because I feel like, I don't know, it's amateurish, but sometimes they're really called for certain things. And they're cute, especially like social media content. I think they're totally appropriate for. So anyway, you can go nuts with these. I've used this one on a music video. I loved this one, how it turned out on a music video. But there's quite a few. If you find something you love and then you can't find it again. You can always go up to the magnifying glass, put in all folders, and just type in camera shake. It's going to bring it up, and then you can add it just like that. So yeah, I didn't even realize that was up there when I first started using DaVinci Resolve, and I would find stuff I loved, and then of course I couldn't find it again. So I have, to be honest, not use audio transitions too much. I can show you what I do know, and I have used this method quite often. So basically, say that we wanted to go from one song to another and maybe fade one in and fade one out. You basically would pull this down, this little white button here, so that your music is going to come down a little bit in audio, in volume. That was a terrible example, but the volume is going to lower. So that's a little better example of it going down. And that way, when you start your new audio bit, it's just not jarring loud, and then on to loud. It's showing there's an ending part and a beginning. So it feels smooth. Also, I wanted to let you know there is a mixer for your audio. If you hit, always click, if you're going to work on something, you always want to click your clips. So right here is my clip. I'm going to backtrack so I can start. Oh, I don't know why it's not moving. I'm going to start the audio. And what we want to do is watch my mixer was already open. Let me see if I can close that. Okay. So you want your audio not to have distortion. So basically you click your audio clip, go to your mixer, open up your mixer, which is right here, play your audio. And you want to make sure that it's not going into red. So I didn't want to talk over that. So you could see that it was, I forget what that's called, but you don't want your audio hanging out in red, or you're going to have distorted audio sounding once you render it. So you can just drag your toggles down until it's in the yellow. It can bleep into the red, but don't let it hang out there. That's really important before you render. There's nothing worse than having a gorgeous video and then your audio sucks. There was one other thing I wanted to tell you about the effects, I think. Hold on a second. And you guys can see I've been kind of living in this hamburger one. This is where you're going to do all of your work. Most all of it will be done in this. You can add titles here. I guess I could just go down the line. So if you'd like to put a title over one of your clips, you merely just click on it, drag it over, click on the text that you're going to add, click on this top right title, and you can type in whatever you want. And basically, it should, oh, it's not showing up probably because it's in white. Oh, because I'm not on the clip, duh. So you can see it's right there in your clip now. And it's kind of self-explanatory in here. You can adjust the size here. Maybe I should make this a little bit bigger for you guys, sorry. You can adjust the size here. Tracking, making it, that's like kerning, I think they call it tracking. Line spacing, it's only one line, so that's not going to do anything. You can anchor it to left or center or right. Justify it if it was a paragraph. So I would just mess with this. I don't use it that often because I don't do a lot of social media posts. Mine are mostly short films and music videos. But it's quite easy to add text. So, you know, just mess around, and there's all kinds of cool text to use where it has cool effects where you can throw it in there. And you also can change your text into your own custom cool looking stuff. You can change the different type styles here, change it to bold. The color is quite easy. You just click on the color here and choose a color. Red's not going to show up very well there. Change your colors here, or you can drag here to change the colors when you want to really fine tune that color. And I'm going to change it back to white because it's so much easier to see.
Wait, one second. So the really weird thing about your presentation is that when you click on something and it pops up like the color picker, the pop-ups don't show in your video, like in what we're seeing. So
Oh, really?
yeah, do you know what I mean? It's
Yes.
everything's
pop-ups
fine
aren't
until
showing.
until you click on a pop-up.
Is it showing my cursor?
Yeah, it shows the cursor. That's why I know that you've moved over to the other side, but we can't see what you're clicking on.
How strange.
It's
I'll
fine.
have to ask one of the influencers on YouTube how you get around that. I'm sure there's a fix for that.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
well,
explaining it really well, so that's fine.
oh, well, thanks. So I have not really, like I said, I don't put a lot of text into my films. I have not really gotten too deep into the text, but there are other settings, and just click on it and mess with it. If you ever don't like what you did, a really important button for you to know where is you can go up to this left corner here under edit and do undo. That's a really good button to know how to use, because in the beginning you're going to get stuck and make mistakes. And I got stuck so many times. I would, you know, I'd do something and I'd ruin something that was really great. So it has a redo button as well, and a history button where you can get back in time. So that's a really good button to know. I'm trying to think of what else. There's transitions, titles. You know, I don't even know it. Oh, these are generators. So I guess these are like custom backgrounds. I've never used them. We went over effects. FX effects, we went over those. There's filters that I don't use too often. Let's see. I really don't use the filters because basically, I think with AI, a lot of us are doing our color grading right in our video generators. We're making our clips look how we want them to look before we put them in, where someone else that's doing raw footage, you know, they're doing all their color grading post production, I think is what they would call it. But anyway, I don't know if this is, if I've left anything out. I'm trying to think. This is just like a quick getting you started. I've been probably doing it for a half hour or 40 minutes. Is there questions or anyone want to see something I didn't go over?
I had one thing that you mentioned in AI Festivus, and I came across it when I downloaded, I think, Affinity Photo, and that was LUTs.
Oh, okay. So the LUTs, I believe, is in effects. And I made the custom LUTs, and now I got to remember where they are. And that was so fun making those.
And
let
LUTs
me-
is what is it lookup tables? Is that what it stands for?
yes.
Okay.
Look up to, I'm pretty sure, Vicky.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Let's see. It's kind of funny because I don't use them very often. I just thought it was really cool that I could write the code for LUTs. But I do want to investigate them more often or more, because I think what LLMs can do now is they can actually analyze a clip and custom make a LUT to correct your clip, because sometimes it might take you hours to get the perfect clip you want for your film and you can't fix it, but you want to use it. So I think it would be amazing to be able to make changes like that. And you know what? I can't even remember where I put my LUT, because I made custom LUTs. Where did I put them? It's kind of funny.
I saw it when I was setting up somewhere, but I don't remember where I saw it.
It's gotta be, I would think it would be in here with the color. I went to the color page. Oh, there they are. Okay. So I'm on the color page right here. In the top left corner is the LUTs area. And I do have my custom one still in here. DaVinci does come with LUTs that are already nice and work great. But basically you can just click on them and then drag them over, and you can see what the effects that they make on your clips. I don't know if it's going to do it though if I have it on multiples. So basically, it should just add it. I need something dark. Let me see if I can find a dark one. So I'm sure you guys can't see this. There.
Yeah.
So you basically click on the one you want to use and hover over it, and you'll see what it does. This is actually the one I custom made with ChatGPT, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I would suggest, though, if you're going to use a LUT, that you want to use very light film or light clips. I wouldn't even suggest using one like this. Like make them all white, a white everything, and then you'll have consistency. Because to put this on other clips, they're not going to all be the same. You see how their dresses are blue, and then this, they're just not going to be consistent. But once you're putting a LUT over film, it's going to change everything in a different fashion. I'm sorry, Vicky, did you say something?
I said, wow.
Wow. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's what's really cool is that we have control to make them ourselves, and they're quite easy to make. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It really didn't take much effort on my part. So these LUTs that come with DaVinci aren't that noticeable to me. A little noticeable, but not as much as the ones I made. The Grand Budapest one isn't as remarkable to see. But yeah, the LUTs are great. The thing you have to think about, though, when you're using a LUT also is your blacks are going to be muted. And there's a way you can correct that, but it's not something I know how to do yet. I'm going to try to learn it. So you have to take that into consideration. Like that guy's black pants. He clearly has black pants on here, but when you put this over, they've kind of turned, I don't know, they're just not popping like they were before. So you do sacrifice your blacks when you're putting a LUT over something. Anything else you'd like me to go over? And you see, I automatically clicked right over to this middle hamburger because, excuse me, that's where a video editor lives, is right here. Always, always, always. Is there anything that someone wants to see? Or I feel like I've left some things out. Let me right click this. I do know on the clips here, I do change my clip speeds quite a bit. I also, one thing I should show you is when you're trying to shorten a clip, you need to pull it above your video line and away from your red line here. I forget what the correct professional thing you call this thing. And to pull it by itself. If you try, it's not going to let you pull on it while it's next. It'll let, if there's extra, it'll let you pull it in, pull it this way, but it's not going to let you shorten it if it's in the same video line. You have to pull it up here and pull it to shorten it. And just remember, you can always toggle this to make things bigger or littler and move this around. You're going to be constantly moving stuff all around the place in order to do what you need to do. And I really can't think of anything else I can tell you guys right now. If you have a question, anybody, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to try to answer them for you.
So do you find yourself like you get to know your audio and your video intimately because you're going back and replaying it like so many times to get your stuff right?
Yes, which is nice if you're trying to lip sync, because I use Act 1, which is runway, and you actually have to make a video of yourself saying it. So yeah, I become very familiar with my audio and what it says, and sometimes have it completely memorized by the time I'm done, depending how long it is. And yeah, I remember where video is in my sleep. Like I know I put that there, and there. Yeah. So that happens. Yeah. I really enjoy the process. So I spend a lot of time, every moment I have that I'm not doing chores or caring for my mother or spending family time, I'm sitting at my computer video editing or, making, images or animating them.
You mentioned you've used Topaz.
Yes.
Do you do that after this or before this? I've never used it.
So I've done it both ways, Todd, and I realized that it's better to do it, do your clips individually, unless you've got a massive, awesome computer. It uses so many resources, and to do the entire rendering of your entire movie, I've found that it.
What does
What's
it do?
that?
It upscales, like adds more detail. What does it do?
So it just makes it clearer. I guess it might add more pixels. So it just upscales it. So you might have something that looks kind of blurry, and it's going to make it come into focus a little better. They do have Kriya, I believe it is, and Magnific that will actually add detail. And I believe Topaz will add a little bit of detail, but if you want a lot of detail added, like Kelly Bosch, she adds a lot of detail. So when her clips come out of, say, runway, and she puts them into Kriya, they come out completely different. That's why people can't reproduce what she does, because she's sticking them in Kriya and she's using specialty settings. So people are like, oh, I'm just going to make what she does. She does it in runway. I'll be able to do that. But you can't, because she's sticking them in Kriya. I mean, you can, don't get me wrong, you just have to experiment and get to what settings she's using. It is possible, but it is adding a lot of detail to her clips. I do not use it a lot because most of my films have consistent characters, and you cannot get consistent characters with Magnific and Creo, which is really sad because they do a great job of adding detail. But then your characters end up looking all different and not consistent. And I think that music video that you made, you know, people singing or whatever, that might that would have ruined your movie because it wouldn't be consistent. I'm real stickler about trying to look at, you know, make it look professional. And I do like some of the things people do on TikTok and things like that. But when they get to be where I like eye candy, but when they get to be back and forth to all kinds of different styles, to me, it's just too much. It breaks you out of the flow and the moment of a short film. Because it's so short, you're like, oh, this is great. Look at this style. And then you're on to a next style. And to me, I really want to study something and enjoy it. I don't want to be, don't throw 20 styles at me at once. That just, I don't know. For me, I don't like it. But some people do, especially younger generations. I think they do like that, which is fine. And maybe that's the way it's going to change. But for me, I'm not into it.
That's so cool.
I can show you Topaz really quick if you want, if anybody's interested.
Yes.
Sure.
So it's basically similar to, well, you know what, Vicky, will I be able to open? No, I think that's going to be for another one because that I'd have to unshare and share, and I'd probably lose DaVinci. If someone has questions, though, about DaVinci, I can go back to that. Is there anything like a problem you had on editing that you'd like me to try to show you how to do on DaVinci?
I'm trying to think of something. My only problem is not being able to generate enough videos fast enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's labor intensive. And if you're anything like myself, when I generate a video or make a clip, I'm probably only using 3 seconds. It's very seldom I use more than 3 seconds of a video. And when you're making something that's 3 minutes long or 7 minutes long, that's an incredibly long journey if you're doing it 3 seconds at a time. I don't know how Kelly Bosch does it. The only thing I can think of is that she's not really going for photorealistic. So things can be warped a little bit and things like that because hers is more surreal. So I think she can do hers a lot faster because, you know, they don't have to be perfect. Luma Labs will morph things together in a very beautiful fashion. And that's what she's doing. And if you guys wanted to do something like that, that's all you do. You go to Luma Labs and you put 2 frames together, a beginning and an end. Luma Labs, and which is Dream Machine, will morph that together for you beautifully. And I'm talking about stills. You put a beginning frame and an ending frame. So usually when you do that, you're going to get a good quality clip you can use on the very first or second try. With me, I'll put a prompt in. It could be 30 prompts. 30 generations I make before I get the shot I want. And then I'm throwing it into Topaz, and mine's very labor intensive. But the cool thing is that I'm getting job offers. I'm getting more than I can handle because I do realistic stuff. So that's cool for me because they know I can do it. I will take the time to make it look real. But I really do want to start doing some of the stuff, the other stuff, because I think it would be cool to be able to make something, you know, like eye candy that looks beautiful and takes you, you know, just away into an escape of beauty. And so that would be fun, I think, to check out. I thought I was coming in here to show you something, but I don't remember.
It was Topaz, but we couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do Topaz because I realized that's going to pull me out of DaVinci. And I just want to make sure that I've given you guys enough to where you feel like you can get started. You also can layer things like, say, you're not sure that you want to use one clip. You can put many layers here, keep your stuff. And I wanted to let you know the top layer is the one you're going to see. So this top layer trumps whatever's below it. So just keep that in mind when you're stacking things. I'm not quite sure why people stack them on timelines. When I finish, usually I have everything on one line, but I've seen the professionals and they have them stacked and stacked. It could be just that they're doing special effects. I do know a little bit of something I could show you that's kind of special effects. Basically, hold on, I'll have to get it on a clip. Let me see. And this is kind of useful, I think, for you guys possibly. I'm going to go to the color wheel here, where I'm going to select a clip to mask something that I don't want in it or lighten it. Basically, you're hitting magic mask here, and you're going over to the little pencil. This is something that you want. This is using AI too. This is AI that's in DaVinci. Why isn't it working? Huh. I don't know why it's working. Why it's not working. It could be that the LUTs is on there. It's kind of weird. It's been a while since I used it. Maybe that's why. Oh, I have to select my qualifier. Okay. So if, say, you wanted this little guy here to be a little darker or lighter, you're going to hit the magic mask, go over and hit your qualifier, little medicine dropper. You have to make sure on the left corner that the qualifier is chosen as well for it to work. You're basically going to draw in blue your subject. I should have, before I started this, muted this these words here, but this isn't real, so it doesn't matter now. But I should have muted this so it wouldn't be showing while I was doing something like this. So everything in this blue is what I'm going to be able to select and edit. And then I'm going to draw a little bit on the outside of it. This is what I don't want to be manipulating, the outer parts of this. And basically when you're done doing this, you want to hit this tracking button here. It's the two arrows that go left and right. You're just going to hit that. And AI is going to do the magic as far as selecting that snail right there. And what that's going to allow us to do is select one portion of the clip that you can manipulate with color. So you can see how just the snail is getting lighter and darker and not the whole clip. And I don't know if any of you have seen the my film that had Kyle in it, but this is actually how I masked him out. I blacked him out so I didn't show him speaking, because I felt like lip syncing wasn't good enough back then to do lip syncing. So this is how I masked Kyle out of the clip without affecting the background. But anyway, that's a really nice feature. You can see I just turned this snail green. So it's it can be done with a person's hair color, a person's eyes. If you want to change eye color, you can turn the trees pink instead of green. I mean, it's a really cool tool to use, and it's quite simple. You're basically going to the color page here, clicking on the mask part, make sure your qualifier is clicked, click on the plus qualifier, draw on it in blue, and then I always do the red to make sure that those are not part of what you want to change. And then hit your tracking button and it'll track it. I don't know if it'll do it now because I've already manipulated this.
So I wonder if that is also a paid feature, because I don't see the mask icon.
could be.
Yeah, maybe. All
That's
the
a
more
shame.
reason to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. After maybe you guys watching this, you might have different feelings about using DaVinci Resolve, depending on what you can do and what you can't for the free version. But I just feel like I used Adobe's Premiere, and I didn't feel like the user interface was good at all. It just seems so confusing to me. DaVinci Resolve actually comes with a manual, a written manual that I'm sure when you guys downloaded it, you saw that. It's like 7,000 pages or some crazy amount of pages. To me, that's, I don't know. I like that. I don't like to have to listen to a million YouTubes to figure something out. You can go to the manual in DaVinci, hit Control Find, type one word in, you know, and it's going to take you directly to what you need to know.
You could put it in Notebook LM and ask Notebook LM as well.
Or yeah, even better. Yeah, that's smarter actually. So yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I don't want to overwhelm you. And frankly, this kind of the stuff that I showed you has gotten me to be able to do films. You know, I might have forgotten some stuff, I know, but it's the basics. It's the basics of the stuff.
I have one question, and I'm not sure if you went through it or not. I have I have cut on my, so between media and edit, it has cut. Did you talk about that at all? In
Right
those
here.
ones? Yeah. Oh, you
So
did?
no, I didn't.
Okay.
This page does exactly what this page does, but less.
Okay.
So I've never used it, and I really don't think people do use it that much. I think that this is for really someone that needs to quickly edit and render something really quick, and
Okay.
it does just the bare basics. Maybe, you know, when I get into my career and I'm editing, I'll need that one day to do something quickly, but right now I'm not that rushed to do things, so I'm not even going to bother to learn it. But basically, I guess you know how the rocket is on the right here to render your things and add to render queue. Apparently in cut you can render in here, and I don't even know where it is to render, but you can render right from this cut page.
Gotcha.
But I love my little home here. This is where I stay. And I don't think I went over Fusion. Fusion is where you're going to be using nodes. And I've actually started to learn a little bit about nodes, but I haven't spent too much time on them yet. You can also use nodes in the color page as well. I think I used nodes. I added a node for I can't even remember, but I added a node one time for something, and it was okay. But I realized adding this node that I did, I could actually do the same job with using the masking. Like I believe like people are either going to like using nodes, or they're going to do these AI features that DaVinci has added. And you're probably going to love one or the other and not want to use both. I'm not that crazy about using the nodes because I feel like they're complicated to me. And I feel like AI is going to catch up with everything you need to do. So I'm not that excited to learn how to use these nodes, to be honest.
Jackie's question. Oh, sorry.
Any
Jackie
other
has a question.
Oh, I had a comment a while ago, so I don't know if this has changed, but what I recall is like if I had really, really long videos, but I only wanted to use a portion, I'd pick the video and then I would cut it in cuts. Then only that portion would be available on the next tab over, your edit tab. So it kind of limited where Joy, what you're doing is just fine. If you skip over that cut portion, you can still cut it in edit, but all of it will be available. If you cut it in that cut portion, I think it's only bringing in that cut portion. Does that make sense?
I don't think I follow. So you're just,
Yeah,
it gives you
let's say
just,
you have a
um,
3-hour video, but you know
Okay.
you're only going to be working with an hour of it. If you cut
okay.
it in
Oh.
cut, it's only going to move that hour to the edit section.
Nice.
You won't be able to access
Okay.
the other 3 hours. If you don't cut it in cuts, all of it will be available for you in edit. You can still cut it down and edit, but you'll still have access to it. So let's say you decide later you want to add a little bit more, you can do that. That's what I recall, but I'm not 100% sure. It may have changed too. But lots of data, cut it down.
Well, that sounds, you could render out of there. So that would make sense that it would just be like a little one-off to do for a portion of a film and render it out of there. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense that they would have that feature. And I've had to do that where I've wanted to make a short of something and I just did a save as and then manipulated it from there. I probably could have done it right in the cut section. So that's cool. Any other questions?
I've seen it advertised that you can collaborate with others. Have you ever played around with that?
Have I advertised?
Yeah.
So Todd, you know, I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I had asked Caleb from Curious Refuge. He's like the co-founder of Curious Refuge. They're like a film school. I asked him, like, how do you collaborate with people? And, you know, and they're just like, well, just ask somebody. So I guess what the key is you have to find somebody that you like their work and you probably wouldn't mind spending time with them, because I believe you'd probably be spending a lot of hours together. And I've actually started on that journey, I thought, with somebody, and we met for a few weeks in a row, and then she just ghosted me. I don't have no idea where she's at. We talked at length about doing things. I don't see her online. I mean, hopefully she's okay. But
Yeah.
Todd, you
Like
know, if you want to collaborate with something with me, I'm open. We can see if we're a good fit. I would love to do a collaboration, because that, I believe, is where you're going to shine, is when you do it with a group of people. And I've actually reached out to have a writing partner that I will be starting kind of after tax season, because he's a funniest man I know alive. And He's just he's an accountant too, I believe, or I don't know what he does, but after tax season is over, we're gonna start writing together. But yeah, I don't know. And you could probably advertise it. I don't know.
No,
In,
yeah,
in
no.
the salon.
When I downloaded DaVinci, it advertised, like it said that you can collaborate with others,
Oh,
like within the
yeah.
system. So it's like you can invite multiple people to work on the same project. And I thought that was cool. I was like, wow, that could be something fun. Like maybe a few regulars might want to like build something
Yeah.
together.
I
But I don't
didn't
see
notice
it.
that.
Maybe it's a paid thing because I don't see it.
Well, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, wouldn't that be?
My dream would be that the salon puts something out together one day. I
Yeah.
think it would be incredible because there's so many talented people that do so many different things that could offer their expertise. You know, we have writers and artists and photographers and
Like maybe
just
somebody makes the video and then you say, does anybody want to put a song to this? And then they would take over the
right.
project and put the song in
Yeah,
there. I don't know.
exactly.
I thought that was cool, but I don't see it in my menu. Like I don't see
Well,
anything
we
about
could do it. We could do it with the salon.
so maybe it's a
I
paid version.
It is. Yeah, I just checked in. Well, ChatGPT, providing it's not hallucinating, tells me that it is a paid feature.
So then all the people would have to have paid the $2.99, I guess, which could make it a little more difficult. But yeah.
see, since I've never collaborated yet, I don't even know how that works. Like, is there one person on the team that does all the video editing, and then one person on the team that does all the image, making, or a couple of people, and then are there just people? Maybe Jackie has a better grasp on that. Jackie, you've done.
I've never used collaboration, and I don't have the paid version either, but it
Okay.
sounds more like, like when you're in a Google Doc and everybody can be editing things at the same time, or Microsoft. It looks like that to me. So you have to have the DaVinci Black Cloud account, which is a free thing, I think, as well. So I wonder if it's possible for like Joy, if she has the paid version, she could set her project to collaboration. And then I wonder if people who have a free version can collaborate if they have a free account.
Cool. Something we should look into. I mean, I'm always so busy doing my own films that I didn't really push the issue too much, but I think it could potentially stop a person's growth because you're going to pick up things from other people in all areas, just not in film editing or filmmaking, but in writing and storytelling and things like that. So I should try to do that. Like maybe set just one day a week to collaborate. And we could do that in the salon. It would probably be a good thing.
Yeah, you may want to post in the salon and see if anyone else has the paid version so you can check it out like with someone else, and then try Jackie's idea to see if you can do it that way.
But I mean, I think only one person really has to have the paid version. Other people can work on things and then, send the clips over, put them in a drive, and one person could do the final video edit. But yeah, I'm open to doing stuff if others have an interest one day, for sure.
Cool. Well, if I can get past the first 22 seconds of my video, then I might feel empowered enough to do something else.
I know the feeling of being stuck on video.
I've got the song is ready to go, and I think it's like I have my first 4 clips, and and it was trying to fit the right clips into the right parts of the song. So, you know, like they might not necessarily need to be like 4 seconds long or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
yeah, trying to do that syncing up thing.
It's
Oh.
I feel like when someone first starts video editing, with AI, maybe not so much with regular film, but with AI, is you have to come to terms with acceptance that everything's not going to be perfect. At least that's what I did. I felt like I was in AA where, you know, that saying where, what is this saying? Accept the things you cannot change, the courage to change things, and the wisdom to know the difference. I felt like I wanted to say that to myself so many times, because with AI video making, you do have to let things go that, you know, you don't want to. And there's clips too, you know, just getting into video editing. You might be in love with a clip and you love it so much, and it is a good clip, but it doesn't go with all of your other clips, and you got to trash it. And that's where that saying comes from, that most of that character ended up on the editing floor. And it's because if it just doesn't fit, you got to get rid of it. But, and that is a good editor though, that will accept it and trash it and put it on the floor.
Under Murder Your Darlings, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so hard to do. But then in the end, it turns out so much better. And then I've made entire films off of one clip, because I'm like, damn it, I'm going to use that because I love it that much. That film, where that last film where I made the transgender woman dance, I made that because of one clip I could not use. I made that entire
Make
film.
a video just called The Cutting Room Floor and then put all
Yeah.
your bits in there.
Yeah, I think I started a leftover videos too, like on DaVinci. I have I named it leftovers. I put clips that I love there because someday I want to go back to them, because I consider them really good, and I feel like they inspire me to do stuff. So yeah.
Joy, I have a question for you. It kind of more personal. I'm just curious, like, is there something in your background that you did as part of your career or a hobby that led you to this? Or was it a surprise to you how much you got into this and how good you are at it?
Oh, thank you, Kath. So I mean, I did have a background when I was a teenager. I went to a trade school for graphic arts, so I knew I knew I was always artistic, and I did mess around with that earlier in my career. But I think I discovered I liked film just after I started messing with it. I also always wanted to tell stories, but I thought I would write a book. How do people tell stories? You write a book. But that doesn't work for me. And I had books inside of me that I couldn't get out. And then when I started making images and then animating them, I started thinking about, wow, some of those, you know, books that are in my head that I can't get out, I can get them out now. Because I think it just doesn't transfer into a book for my brain, but it does transfer visually. Probably am a visual learner of some sort. But yeah, I mean, I write stuff, and to me, it sounds, I completely understand it when I write, you know, like a story, and then I'll show it to somebody and they're like, I have no idea what you're trying to do here. And it's awful. And but with film, you can show people, just makes more sense to me and comes out, I think, better. The story comes out better. But I don't have a background in filmmaking. I think also, Kath, just putting in that I put in the hours. I worked at this. I didn't, you know, I don't think I was born good. I spend a lot of hours doing it. And I think anybody can be good or better than I am if they willing to put the hours in to mess with it. And you have to be, I think, a patient person and persistent. And if something doesn't work, you try again.
Thank you. I love that. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. I love doing it. It's fun.
This has been awesome, Joy. I really appreciate your time and your expertise. And we're exactly an hour and a half, so we did really well.
Perfect. Perfect. And if any of you have questions, I'm so happy to answer them. Teaching is the best way for a person to learn. If I don't know how to do something, it's good for me to look it up and try to help you through it. So definitely feel free to reach out. And, you know, if you don't, if you can't do something because you don't have the paid version, I am sure there's a workaround with it. On, like, Vicky has iMovie. She could take that clip, do what she needs to do, and put it back into DaVinci. I know that sounds like extra work, but I don't know if iMovie can do as much as DaVinci can do. I just love DaVinci. I would never change, because right now I'm getting fast at it. It just feels second nature to me. But you guys, maybe you guys can do Adobe. Maybe I just have an Adobe block or something. I don't know. But
Yeah,
I hope you enjoy your video making. I just love it.
It definitely looks a little more involved than iMovie. But then again, I haven't also explored all the you know, knobs and buttons and things in iMovie. So and we this format of like having someone share something, or having a group of people share something, or like having a jam is going to be like more of a thing in the salon. So we're calling it Learning Out Loud, or Learn Out Loud, LOL. So if anyone has anything they want to share, just, you know, please let us know. Drop me a line, drop me a message in the salon, and we'll hook you up with a session.
Yeah, and is there anything that that I should change, or any suggestions that I can do? So, because I plan on showing other people, I have to show a friend of mine how to do something. Any suggestions for me on how to change this to make it better?
I think just find out like why we can't see the pop-ups when you know, hit something that spawns a pop-up. And I don't know if like Jackie said, it could be because you're in the app and not in a browser window, but I mean, you can't open Resolve in a browser window, so I'm not sure how that works.
No,
I actually think you can open it in a browser window, but I don't know how. Go ahead, Jackie.
no, I when you shared on the meeting, did you share just the DaVinci window, or did you share your entire screen?
We tried with the entire screen and it didn't work, so that's why
Yeah.
she said just the
So that's why we can't see pop-ups, because it'll share. It's because it's sharing just DaVinci. When those pop-ups are going, it's not reading it as DaVinci. So
interesting.
does that make sense? It's a separate
It
window.
does make sense. I wonder how I would get around it during a live session like this. But we'll figure it out. Well, thank you everyone so much. I appreciate it, and good luck with everything. And please reach out if you need me with any questions at all.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. We'll see you all in
Thank you.
Thanks
Bye,
so
guys.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Vicky, for doing